Hey guys, Constance here from CosmopolitanCornbread.com. So I just got done running a few errands, and the last errand that I did was to our local Lowe's to pick up some supplies because something is fixing to happen. You will notice we have beautiful blue skies up there. No rain at last. And so we are fixing to shiplap the ceiling. I am so excited. We have had such ongoing atrocious weather basically all winter, and I have been wanting to do this project forever, it feels like. And now that we finally have a stretch of good weather, we're going to have 3 days of no rain. Tomorrow it's going to be like 80 something degrees. And so now is the time to work on this project because I really wanted to get this ceiling finished, this shiplap, faux shiplap project done before garden season came. And if it wasn't for this insane, just horrible weather that we've been having, I would already be in the garden. But because garden season has been delayed, I'll have a chance to do this, because even though the weather is beautiful, we are still a swamp around here. It's still too wet to do anything, and so that will give me the opportunity to get the faux shiplap treatment done on my kitchen ceiling. If you are new to my channel, we purchased our home and property just over 3 years ago, going on 4 years now. And the original owners who we purchased it from had an oven fire in the kitchen, and it caused a lot of soot damage, and it was just really, really gross. And they had painted over the kitchen ceiling, which was not a pretty sight to behold, but I had spent quite a bit of time trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do about that kitchen. And so finally it dawned on me, I can do a faux shiplap. So that is what I am going to be doing today. At least I'm going to finally be getting it started. First on the agenda is to cut the wood. Now, actual shiplap is about $11 a board. And if you are doing an entire room, that's a whole lot of expense, when really I'm just wanting to hide my ugly ceiling. So what I did is I went to the hardware store and I got some very thin sanded plywood. This is smooth, it is pretty, and it was also very inexpensive. We are, a military family, retired military, so we do get a little bit of a discount, and so it cost us a little bit less to do this, but it's still, even without a discount, it's going to be a great economical way of covering up an ugly ceiling. So it all starts with the sanded plywood, and the version I have is very thin. It's about 30 seconds or something along that line. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut these sheets of wood into 6-inch planks. And some people have hardware stores around them that will cut wood for them like that, but our local Lowe's only does 7 cuts per order, and if you've got a whole bunch of pieces of wood that you need cutting, that would only cover one of the sheets of wood. So a friend of mine, dear sweet friend, has a table saw. They let me borrow it, and so I went and got it a little bit ago, and now I'm going to put it to use and cut all of those sheets of wood into the 6-inch planks. But first I'm going to go change out of this top into some work clothes, because this is kind of a frilly little top and it's not work clothes. So I'm gonna go change first. Alright you guys, so we have started putting the faux shiplap on the ceiling, and the way we're doing this, we're going to start at one end, work our way down, cut the piece of fit at that far end, and then the next row we start at that end and do the same thing going this way. Now, if this was just an empty room like a bedroom, it would be really easy to do all this. We do have to kind of finagle it a little bit because we have existing counter or cabinets up here, so we have to kind of work around these. But it's not very hard. It is a bit of a two-person job just because being able to space the pieces of wood with nickels that we're using and hold them in place, you kind of need somebody at either end holding it. So, but it's going well, and I can tell it's going to look great when it's finished. Alright, so the project is, yes, Ute. The project is coming right along. We are reaching the point where we are almost to the light fixture. So I went ahead and I took down the dining room table light, and I just took down the overhead light. This right here is soot that was up underneath the light fixture that was originally in here. And that sort of grossness was underneath everything here in the kitchen. Every light fixture, it was up underneath the cabinet, which you can kind of see right up there where I had taken down the trim. And they had painted over the ceiling to try and cover that up. They didn't do a very good job, I'm just saying. And you can see like right there over the kitchen sink where there was a lot of soot left. So that is the main reason we're doing this, but also that stamped ceiling texture is just kind of hideous, and spent a long time trying to figure out exactly what we wanted to do, and this faux shiplap I think is going to look really good once it's finished. We will paint it probably like a dove white color, and we're very happy with how it's going so far. Alright, so I just did the first space around the light socket up there, and taking a short break because Mr. Smith is of course working from home, and that means having to stop the honeydew list and actually do some work. So he's got a business call he's on right now. I think it's going to look fantastic after it gets painted, and I have all of my new light fixtures up in here. Now the one that was over the kitchen table will be the same one. I'm not changing that out. That's that one that I built the first year that we lived here. But then I have the antique light that will go over the kitchen sink that I bought at the antique store, and I have the old-fashioned looking but actually new light fixture that will go on the ceiling where that ugly LED light used to be, where the soot stain is. The way we are doing this is sanded plywood, the thinnest that I could find, because you don't want to add a lot of weight to your ceiling. And we used the table saw to cut it into 6-inch strips just to make it appear like the planks. Then to do the spacing, I'm sticking a nickel in between because a nickel is just like the perfect size, so that you can see the planking so it doesn't look like just a solid white ceiling. You want it to actually look like shiplap, and shiplap is going to have those individual planks. So by having the nickel up in there, it's the perfect space, and there's plenty of nickels around. So that is what we're doing. To attach the wood to the ceiling, I'm using my air compressor and brad gun. These are 18 gauge brads, and I bought the 1 1/4 inch ones. Very simple, very economical. I got a box of, oh gosh, how many years in here? 5,000. I got a box of 5,000 of them for right about $17 before our military discount. So not too bad. The brads and the wood, all of the wood to do our kitchen. Our kitchen is about 11 feet by 21 feet or something like that. And all of the wood and the brads cost me right about $210. So to do that, I will sit down and figure out how much it would have cost me to do that in actual shiplap, and I will put that right here in a little text box to show you how much we saved doing that. But I think we're really going to like the look of this once it's finished. So I am going to get a drink and a snack, and then as soon as Mr. Smith gets back in here, we will get back to work. Alrighty, so we are calling it quits for today. We're losing light, it's dinner time, and we're going to actually have to pull out the table saw once again to rip a couple boards, just a couple, because we are at the very end, the last row over here, and it's going to be a different length. And I've got to take down the last light that's over the sink, and we will do all of that in the morning. So we're gonna get some supper, eat something, and rest, because I think Mr. Smith and I both have got cranks in our neck after doing all of this work. But it is looking fantastic. Look at this up here. It's gorgeous. We love it.
See if you can close up with a mystery spider.
Oh, there's a spider up there.
I moved right there. You can see him.
Alright.
Looks like that jumping spider.
Oh yeah. So I think we are both very happy with the way that this is turning out. There are a couple of spots where the spacing of our nickel wasn't exactly working because some of the boards, I don't know if they warped or if we just didn't get them cut perfectly straight. But quite frankly, I'm not going to worry too much about that, because if this was an old farmhouse, the boards wouldn't be perfect anyways. So having slightly off gaps here and there, I think it gives it a little bit of character anyways. But it's looking good, and I'll be excited when this kitchen is finally finished. So, stopping for today. Hey guys, so we got up early this morning and we got back to work, and the ceiling is officially faux shiplapped. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, we love it. It's all completed as far as putting the planks on the ceiling. Now, I do have a few things left that I need to do, of course. I'm going to paint the ceiling. I'm going to paint it a dove white, but I'm not going to paint it today because the weather is gorgeous today and I don't need good weather to paint the ceiling. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and reattach all of my, well, I'm going to hang all of my lighting. One is being rehung because it's one that I took down, the one over the table, and then I'm going to put the new ones here in the kitchen as well, because, you know, we need lighting. So I'm going to do that. I'll paint another day. And then the final touches for finishing this up will be going ahead and putting some crown molding all the way around the room to finish off the edge, and then all around the cabinets. And then vent covers. We have 2 right there, vents in our ceiling. And I'm actually going to order some very pretty ones that can just kind of blend in. They'll be white, so they'll sort of be camouflaged with the rest of the ceiling, so you won't really notice them as much. But I think that'll be it. That's pretty much all that's left. But this was the big thing. Planking the ceiling, this was a definite 2-man job, so I'm really excited with the end result. Been a long time coming. So now I'm going to clean up this mess that I have here, then I'll hang the lighting, and then I'm gonna head on outdoors to get some other things done today while we have the weather for it. So excited. 80 degrees, sunny, and all of that. It'll be a good day today. So that is it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. Once we have this all completed, all the final steps, I'm going to do a before and after video and show you what our kitchen looked like when we moved in, as opposed to all of the changes that we have made since we've been here, and give you a whole rundown of the process. So I'm excited and looking forward to doing that, but that will be another day once everything is all completed. So thanks for hanging out with me today, and Mr. Smith. And if you have any questions about the process of how we've been doing this, leave them in the comments down below and I will be sure to address them. My name is Constance from cosmopolitancornbread.com, and I will talk to y'all next time.